Hey everybody, it's Clint at Manskull 101 today, and we're still working on that flintlock, right? You saw part one, so this is 50 caliber flintlock. Not really a whole gun going on there, but that's the barrel for it. 33.5 inches long, 1 in 66 twist. And I misspoke when I said on my last video that it was 1 inch in 66 inches. It's actually one complete revolution in 66 inches. Again, suited for a round ball. So last time we talked, I showed you this kit that I got, the Kentucky long rifle. There's the butt stock, and here is the flintlock. So I've got a flint mounted in there. And, you know, all of this is kind of a learning curve to me. And so, you know, I'm figuring it out as I go, just like you will, and you have, I'm sure. So, you know, I'll show you flip that frizzen down. Got the flint in there. And then break the sear. Hopefully we get some sparks. Yeah, look at that. So that should make things go boom, right? So, hopefully. Anyway, so I had some inletting to do on the shoulder stock, the butt stock, which amounted to removing some material right here, right up in there, and a little bit right back there. And as you can see, now it fits in there pretty nicely. You know, nice and snug. So I like that, you know, you kind of heard it pop in there. That's a nice fit, you know, no real gaps here around this edge or up here. Now what I don't like though, and I didn't remove any material there, but it's sitting a little bit deep on this front end right here. I don't know if that's coming through or not for you, but sitting a little bit deep there. So wiggle it back out. Now I did not remove any material in this area, you know, on that plane right there. I just did this edge, this outer edge. But so it's sitting a little deep, so I'll use some type of filler. I'm not sure what I'm going to use at this point, but just to bring it up level where the lock plate sits even with the stock right here. So anyway, so that went pretty good. Was able to get that fitted in there, you know, without too much trouble. I did learn something. I was looking at the box the other day, and these kits, so this is a Traditions Kentucky long rifle kit. And they come at different levels. I didn't know that. So I noticed this one is a level 5, which requires the most fitting, you know, the most woodwork, metalwork, what have you. So that's okay. I'm good with that. I just didn't know. I didn't know they had different levels. But so it goes from level 1 to level 5. This is being the most difficult, and it's not going to be too difficult. And so anyway, I had that fitted in there, and then we can take and put these lock screws on. Let me see if I can get that where you can see it maybe. There we go. These lock screws that have a brass washer, for lack of a better term, that goes on those on the outside here. I think that's the wrong screw. I think this is the right screw. Anyway, they drop in like that, and just simply screw them into the plate on the lock. Now, speaking of plates, I think that I might, instead of leaving these brass washers on this side, I might go ahead and make, so that's screwed on there like so, right? I might go ahead and make a plate right here. Maybe do some ornamental stuff just out of iron, steel, and see what I come up with to replace those two screws where there'll be a whole plate here. That'll do a couple of things. I think it'll fancy it up. It'll sturdy it up. Well, I don't know about fancier, but it'll be more custom, you know, it'll be more my own. And it'll add a little bit of weight back here. So I don't know. It's a thought. Probably going to go there. So anyway, from there, then you simply drop the trigger mechanism in right here, and it fit in just fine. I didn't need to do anything with that. Nothing at all. And then there's a screw hole right there that the ting of the barrel, I don't know if I can do all this where you can see it, the ting of the barrel screws into that. So the ting of the barrel drops in like that. Wiggle it back in there. Nice snug fit. And you can run this screw then right through the tang down into the top of the trigger plate. Not too big a deal so far, right? Looking good, going easy. But when I got this not quite lining up there, not sure what I need to do about that. That. Now if I can hold it all together at one time, maybe I can get that screw to start. I didn't have much trouble earlier. There we go. I think we're getting it. Maybe, maybe not. Get that down in there, maybe there. Now let's see. A little bit awkward holding the plate, the barrel, the trigger plate, the barrel, and the stock all together at one time. I think I got it started there. So I just want to show you. There we go. My next problem. Not problem, but next thing that needs to be addressed. So now we got the barrel laying in the stock, got the tang screwed into the trigger plate, right? And that all went in nice and easy. That looks good. I'm happy with that. But if you look at now, the barrel is just a touch off parallel. So that's about parallel. This line right here, and this line on the barrel are pretty much parallel, but it's not sitting in the stock all the way. So when I do that, now it's got a little bit of an angle between those two lines, you know, not exactly parallel with each other, right? Again, we're talking about this line on the stock and this line on the barrel, a little bit of an angle going at each other. So when I raise it up a little bit, then it's not sitting deep in the stock. Also, when it's seated down in there like that, the tang, if you can see, I think that way you can see it right there, is sitting a little bit high back here. So I'm thinking I need to drop the level of the wood under the tang, about right in this area just a little bit, where the back end will sit just a little deeper. It'll bring this down, the tang, back down to level of the stock, and give me a more symmetrical line between these two all the way throughout. So that's my next step. Anyway, so, you know, starting to come together though, right? Starting to look like a gun. I also put the trigger guard in, and I'm not going to do it right now because it's super tight. And not that it's that hard to put in, but it's hard to take out. So I'm not going to put it in. But I have put it in, and I don't think I'm going to do any fitting. It just goes in there, this brass trigger guard here flexes enough that I can get it into the wood nice and tight, snug. I think I'm going to leave it like that. I did Dremel this out just a hair up here so it would fit a little better. And speaking of Dremels, this is the tool right here. That little guy. I love this thing. Very handy tool. Got lots of bits to it. I run it kind of on a slow speed, about a 10 to a 15. So this guy, you know, goes a 30 pretty fast, but I like, for doing delicate work, run it kind of slow, like a 10 or a 15, which that's a 10 right there. Anyway, use that with that little stone on it to grind those circumferences out. And so, like I said, this is fitting in pretty good. I think I'll just leave it like it is, but I got to do some work up here in the back end of the barrel. So that'll be my next project. I'll do some of that today. And then I want to bring this front plate outward a little bit on the lock. Also, side note, I was going through my parts material list, parts and material list. And there's a little bit of a look what this thing is going to look like. Pretty cool. I'm excited about it. Never had a flint lock before. I've had percussion locks, but no flint lock. So anyway, going through the parts on this and realized that not included in my kit, let me see if I can get it open where you can see it, is there it is, the flash hole insert. Let me point that to you. I got a good pointer right here. The flash hole insert goes right in there. As you can see, that's, man, can you see it right there? Yeah, like right there. That's way too big of a hole for a flash hole, and I notice it's threaded in there. So there's an insert that screws in there. Probably replaceable, I would imagine. Anyway, so I called Traditions this morning, and they seem happy to help and are going to get me one sent in the mail right away. So I'll keep you updated on that, but so far so good on the customer service. And it's looking good. I'm happy with the quality of this whole thing, and we're going to move forward, and I'll keep you guys updated. So you guys all have a great day. God bless you, and God bless America, and we'll see you soon.